the recording. Y'all, I got so tickled rewatching my video from last week where I was talking about writing backwards and trying to make y'all see what I saw, because I didn't know that what I saw on my computer was not what y'all saw. I thought, anyway, that's why I wrote that thing backwards. And so if you'll see today, this right here is written forwards for you. And I put it here because I thought it may be easiest for you to see up closer to the camera for class. But it's just a tool for waving hands in clouds. And so I was trying to give y'all something, you know, I've told y'all before about just the little piece of paper that has the movements for waving hands in clouds. That just always helped me when I was first learning, to take a regular piece of paper and write whatever I wanted to write, whether it be the names of the movements in order or just specific to one movement, so that my brain didn't have to work too hard and I could just do the movements without thinking. This right here is a big Post-it note, which has a sticky on the other side, just a strip on the top. And it's just a big, huge piece of paper. And I like this because it is big and I can put it over on the wall and I can see it. So sometimes a small piece of paper, you're not able to see. So that's just to give you a tip on when you are practicing the movements on your own, then that's something that you can do to be your brain. You may not practice any other time. You may just only do Tai Chi when we're in class. Believe me, I understand how quickly 7 days passes. So you may leave class this afternoon and think, oh yes, this week I'm going to do 10 minutes every single day, just a little bit of Tai Chi. And then you truly mean to, and next thing you know, it's Tuesday again. So I completely understand. So don't stress yourself out. Do the Tai Chi whenever you're able and it fits into your schedule. Keep in mind, what is the reason why you want to do Tai Chi? And any reason is legitimate. Now, we know that this Tai Chi program is evidence-based to help people with arthritis, and it's evidence-based for people to prevent falls or reduce their risk of falls. So we know that is 2 reasons why people would take Tai Chi. It may be because you just want to try something new and different. My reason why I like Tai Chi is to help reduce stress and anxiety that the world and all of my to-do lists and schedules gives me. So I know when I come to Tai Chi, I get to slow down when the rest of my life is like in a hurry and from a to-do list. So remember the reason why you're doing it and do it for that reason. So we know if it's really about falls prevention, then your focus is going to be on a weight transfer, because when we transfer weight to one leg, transfer weight to the other leg, that weight transfer, that holding the weight on one leg, helps make our muscles stronger and helps them be in a stabilizing role. And obviously it's in the word stabilizer, that we're less likely to fall. And so we got to have some muscle strength to help us with falls prevention through increasing the strength of our muscles. Another thing that we would focus on if falls prevention is our reason is body structure. So we want to hold our bodies upright with that nice, relaxed shoulder with like a string that pulls up and down our spine. So we have that really good upright posture. If you're a person who leans forward when you walk, then you're already going towards falling. So we want to practice that body structure, upright posture, and then practicing that weight transfer, and that can really help us with falls prevention. If your goal is, it would help with falls prevention because it's helping improve balance, it's helping improve coordination, it's helping improve mobility, help relieve some of that stiffness that we have in our joints. So that all of those benefits happen whenever you focus on those particular principles. Let's say you're like me and you just need some time to breathe because things have been stressful. You may focus on the slow nature of the movements and the diaphragmatic breathing, where you're completely filling your lungs with air and completely emptying lungs with air as you move slowly. And so that will naturally calm your nervous system. So you see, we're doing the same movements, but our focus is a little differently, and we just remember why we do it. All right, so as always, if y'all have any questions or have anything that you want to add, just feel free to talk at any time. We want this class to be easy and for y'all to feel like you can ask questions at any time. So let's start off by warming up our bodies. It's fairly warm outside, so by nature, our bodies are probably warm already. But that's what we do at the beginning of each class is walk, open and close our hands, hump our arms. We're just getting that blood flowing in our bodies to warm up our muscles, to decrease our chance of injury. As you walk around, really think about your breathing. We tend to hold our breath when we're doing something new or different. So just start that process of inhaling, completely filling your lungs with air, and exhaling, completely emptying those lungs with air. As you walk around, warming up your body. Now to do our warm-up stretches, we bring ourselves in a place where our body's in that nice stable stance. Our feet are about shoulder width or hip width apart. Our weight is on both legs. We have that good posture, relaxed shoulders. We're not holding tension anywhere. One gift that Tai Chi gives us is body awareness. So we start to recognize when we're not holding our bodies in a nice stable place, and we fix it so that we don't have the repercussions of that. All right, so let's start with our neck. We start with our hands to our sides. We're going to bring those hands up, palms down towards our chin and chest, push away from our body, and follow those hands all the way down, feeling a little stretch in the back of our neck. Inhale up and then exhale whenever you get ready. One more. Our other neck exercise starts out the same way. We drop one hand to our hip and we follow the other hand as we look towards that shoulder and back to the front. Switch hands. Very good. Now for our shoulders, let's roll our shoulders forward. Small circles. And then roll those shoulders back. Feels like a massage you give yourself. Forward and back. All right, big shoulder circle. Our hands come up, palms up, and push down in front of us. This is a good one to practice breath and also gentle resistance. So we can pretend we're moving through water. Inhale up and exhale down. Let's do one more. For our spine, let's grab our ball. Let's take the hand that's on top and push down towards the ground, keeping that nice soft bend in our elbow. The other one comes up and pushes up towards the ceiling. So we're pushing up and down at the same time, stretching that spine vertically. Come back to my ball and switch. So other hand pushes up and the other hand pushes down. Really stretching that spine. Back to our ball and switch. To our ball, switch. And one more on each side. Nice spinal stretch. As y'all know, as we get older, our bodies start to settle like a house. And so one of the things that happens is our spine kind of collapses into itself. It settles down. So doing stretches like that really spreads out that spine and just keeps it functioning. So that's the easy movement you can do for your spine. The other one for our spine, for horizontally, we go side to side. The hand that's on top tells us the direction. Let's see if I can open this door for a little bit. It's really hot in here in the afternoons. I turned the air down thinking that was going to help, but it has not helped. All right, let's have the hand on top and we turn that torso and we stop just above that knee, staying within our frame. Switch our hands, come back across. Going side to side. This warms up that spine horizontally. Check in and make sure you're breathing. Check in, make sure you're not holding tension anywhere as you move side to side. Remembering it's not an arm movement, but a torso movement for our spine. Give yourself a little shake as we move to our lower body, specifically starting with our weight transfer. Starting with our hips, we shift our weight to one leg. Let's place a heel out forward and our hands back. Pause in the middle and toe back, hands forward. Back to center, heel forward, hands back. Pause in the middle and toe back, hands forward. Being mindful of your posture, not to lean with any of the movements. Come back to center. Let's switch legs. Shift the weight to the other leg. Now place that heel out and hands back. Pause in the middle and toe back, hands forward. Pause. Heel forward, hands back. Pause in the middle, toe back, hands forward. One more time. Again, being conscious of our posture and toe back. Back to center. We're going to shift our weight from leg to leg. Our hands are stacked. We're going to push our hands in the direction of the weight shift and not going any further than our frame. We're not going to go way out here. That's when we start leaning and going towards falling, and that goes against what we're here for. Stop at the edge of our frame and then lift that foot, tap it out. Back, switch hands, shift the weight, and lift and tap. Shift, lift and tap. The world. So sorry, I just had something pop up on my screen. All right. Shift, lift and tap. Shift, lift and tap. And that's for our hips. Hands to our side. We have these nice loose fists. We're going to do our movements for our knees. We'll shift the weight to one leg, lift, tap out, and punch the opposite hand. Bring it back, shift, lift, tap and punch. Bring it back, shift, lift, tap and punch. Bring it back, shift, lift, tap and punch. So this is really challenging our balance, which is good. That's how we grow, is when we're challenged. If it's too much to do it on your own, if you really feel out of balance, have a chair, wall, table, something stable nearby that you can hold on to while you do this movement. No shame in that. Let's shift the weight, step out, just a small step. And when we step, we do not immediately give it weight. That's called an empty step. Now we shift forward as we punch. Bring that weight back, feet side by side. Now keep in mind that that back foot you keep flat on the floor. So don't lift that foot as you shift the weight. Keep it flat on the floor, bring it back, feet side by side. Also, you're not going to shift all of your weight. You shift enough to use that muscle and bring it back. So you leave some of that weight on that back leg. Keeping that body upright. We're not leaning towards that weight shift. And that's a challenge. This is a dynamic movement in that we're shifting our weight front and back and side to side. Last is for our ankles. So we shift our weight to one leg and then we heel, toe, rock that foot, helping with the stiffness in our ankle, increasing that mobility, reducing the tension. Bring it back, shift the weight, and other foot, heel, toe. Rock that foot. Nice ankle stretch. Bring it back, shift the weight, and then big toe, little toe, side to side. You probably feel a little tension there. It's kind of an awkward direction to move your foot. Little toe, big toe, other foot. The more you do this, the more that you'll have increased flexibility in your ankle joint. You know, anytime you're moving your body, stretching your joints, it helps them be more flexible. So that's why we do those movements each time, is to help prepare our body and get our bodies ready for our Tai Chi series of movements. Let me go ahead and move this sheet on this side. Y'all may be able to still read it. I'll open it to where you can see it a little bit. We're going to review what we went over last week. We went through waving hands and clouds to the right, and we're going to go through all of the basic 6 movements, practice those several ways. And then next week, we're going to dive into our advanced movements if y'all want to. We don't have to. We can stay here at the basic 6 and live here and keep going over it. I want y'all to let me know what y'all want out of the class, where y'all want to go, what movements that y'all want to really focus on. We can do these same movements. We can do them seated. We can do them standing. Lots of ways we can practice keeping our principles in mind. So let's go back to our commencement movement. That's our first movement. Remember that it is a step forward. So we shift our weight to our right foot. We step left. And when we step left, that's an empty step. We don't give it weight. Then we give it weight, and then we bring the right foot forward. So the footwork in commencement is a step forward. The hand movement in commencement, or come closer to the camera. Our hands are going to be at our sides, and our hands are going to face each other the whole time. So we're going to bring those hands up facing each other. Now they're out and away from our bodies, but our elbow isn't locked. So we're out, but we're not out, right? So always keep a soft joint so that the energy can flow through our bodies. So our hands come up and down towards our hips. They come up, out, and back in. Okay, so that's the handwork of commencement. Let's do it again. So we come up and down, in, up, out, and back in. Open and close. That's our next movement. So let's talk about putting those together. So when we start the commencement movement, our hands come up. Nothing's happening with our feet. It's when they come down that we shift the weight to that right foot. So the down movement of our hands goes with the shift to the right leg. Once we shift that weight, we're ready to step with that left foot. Small step forward. Empty step, no weight there just yet. So leave it empty with all the weight on our right foot as we bring our hands in and up. Now we're ready to shift weight to that left foot as we take our hands out. Shift as those hands go out, right foot forward, and then let's bring our hands back. We're ready for open and close. All right, so that's our first two moves, commencement and open and close. Talk you through them. Here we go. And commence. Hands come up, down, shift right. Step left, step empty. Hands come in and up. Shift left as those hands go out. Right foot forward. Hands come back, open and close. Scratch something, I'm bleeding. Good thing my shirt's kind of red, huh? All right, let's do it again. And commence. Good Lord. Hands come up. Down, shift right. Step left. Hands come in and up. Shift left as they go out. Right foot forward. Hands come back. Open and close. All right, y'all. What in the world I have done to myself? Leave that napkin back there. All right. And commence. Hands come up, down, shift right. Step left. Hands come in and up. Shift left as those hands go out. Right foot forward. Hands come back, open and close. Now, I always kid that open and close is kind of like a give me, like, oh, gosh, good gracious, I've made it through commencement. Now I can do something that's a little easier. Yes, it's easy. It's open and close. Our hands are facing each other. We take a breath. Our hands separate. We exhale. Our hands come closer together. So open and close is a breath that naturally opens our hands and closes our hands because our lungs fill with air and empty of air. So that breath is really what makes those hands move. So practice that open and close movement a few times with your deep breath. Open and close. Also, and it's hard to tell with this shirt because it's a little bit baggy in my arms here, but when you do open and close, leave a little space here in your armpit, and that allows energy to flow versus if you were to close your armpits and just have your hands here, open them up, and it allows that energy to flow. So that's a little information. Good, look at this, y'all.
Turn around and let us see if we can tell what it is.
Y'all see it?
Yeah, it looks like it was a bump, and you scratched the top off of it.
Well, I guess I did. Good gracious.
But it's bleeding a lot.
I don't know my blood type. I have to figure that out. I think it's A positive. Is it A positive? Is that a choice?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm an A positive. So if I need blood, y'all let them know. Okay. Yeah. So open and close. Keeping some space in the armpit. So don't just take that movement for granted, like, oh, that's just easy. I don't even have to think about it. There is a little bit more to that movement. So let's do that, those two movements again, then we'll move forward. And commence. Up, down, shift, right, step left, hands come in and up, shift left as they go out, right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. So now you may appreciate open and close a little more. Let's do it again, but this time I won't talk you through. I'll just call out the name and commence. Open and close. All right, we're ready for single whip. Now our next two moves are single whip and waving hands in clouds, and we do that to the right. We have an open and close in the middle, and then we single whip and wave hands in clouds to the left. Okay, so we're going to do what we do to the right, and then we'll do that to the left. In the middle, we have that open and close. At the end, open and close. So first off, single whip to the right. We're going to shift left, step right. So it's out, it puts us in a staggered stance, which is a stable stance. And when we step out, we adjust weight to where there's weight on both feet. So it's shift left, step right, adjust weight. So now we're in that stable stance. We're ready to do something with our hands. So we're going to push our hands out, turn our palms away from us. Now we'll separate and we'll follow that left hand as we open up our hands. The general rule is with our single whips, if you ever wonder, oh gosh, which arm or which hand is my eyes supposed to follow? It is the hand opposite of the foot that steps out. So here I've stepped out with my right foot, so I follow my left hand. When we do our single whip to the left, we shift right, we step out left, adjust weight, we push, turn, separate, we follow our right hand. So the general rule in single whip is eyes follow the hand opposite of the foot that is stepped out. Okay, so the first single whip to the right, shift left, step right, push, turn, separate, eyes following that left hand. But don't forget to continue to open up the hand you're not looking at. It's easy to forget the one you're not looking at. So just be conscious of that, to keep moving that hand. But when you do that, it opens up that chest and you can feel those muscles stretch. Here. All right, so now we're ready for our first waving hands in clouds, which includes these 4 words: step, switch, turn, shift. So this isn't new, it's just review and getting us really good at this movement. So we have single whipped, our weight is on both feet, we're in that staggered stance, our eyes are on that left hand. We're going to shift the weight to our left foot and bring that right foot, right hand back. And then we begin this series of words: step, switch, turn, shift, 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 step, switch, turn. Now to the middle for open and close. All right, back to our single whip. First one to our right. So we're here at open and close. We shift left, step right, adjust weight. Push, turn, separate, following that left hand. Shift left, bring that right foot, right hand back, waving hands in clouds. Step, switch, turn, shift, 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 step, switch, turn. To the middle for open and close. So those are our next 2 movements of our basic 6 Tai Chi. Now we're ready to do that same exact thing, just to our left. So we're starting again at open and close. So everything we just did, we're going to do with the opposite foot. So for our next single whip, the one to the left, we shift right, we step out left, adjust weight, push, turn, separate. Remember, following the hand opposite of the foot we stepped out with. So that's our right hand. Shift right, bring that left foot, left hand back. Now we're ready for waving hands in clouds to the left. Step, switch, turn, shift, 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 step, switch, turn, and to the middle for open and close. That's our single whip and waving hands in clouds to the left. So let's do it again, put them together. Coming from that open and close. And single whip. Shift left, step right, adjust weight. Push, turn, separate, following that left hand. Shift left, bring that right foot, right hand back. Waving hands in clouds. Step, switch, turn, shift, 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 step, switch, turn, to the middle for open and close. Single whip, shift right, step left, adjust weight, push, turn, separate, following that right hand. Shift right, bring that left foot, left hand back, waving hands in clouds. Step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn. That nose itching messed me up. Shift, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn, shift, step, switch, turn, and to the middle for open and close. Close it out. So that's our basic 6. Let's add our single whips and waving hands and clouds to our commencement and open and close. Starting from the top and commence. Hands come up, down, shift right. Step left, hands come in and up. Shift left as they go out. Right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. Single whip. Shift left, step right, adjust weight, push, turn, separate, eyes following that left hand. Shift, bring that whatever foot that is back, right foot, right hand back. Waving hands in clouds. Step, switch, turn. Shift, 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 step, switch, turn, to the middle for open and close. Single whip, shift, step, adjust weight, push, turn, separate, following that right hand. Shift right, bring that left foot, left hand back, waving hands in clouds. Step, switch, turn, shift, 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 step, switch, turn, and to the middle for open and close. All right, let's give something different a try. Goodness, I hope a vampire ain't near.
It hadn't quit bleeding yet.
Ooh,
It's still bleeding.
it is. Look at my rag.
There's no one there that can put a Band-Aid on it.
Yeah, I'll get them too when I get done with class. Goodness. I just started all kinds of trouble with that. If I could figure out where exactly it was, I could do like, you know, when you shave and you take a little thing and let me see if I can figure it out right quick. This is YouTube Gold. You know, I'll record this and put it on YouTube. They'll probably give me an award for this.
You're managing.
Good Lord. All right. So let's do our movements, and I'm going to challenge you by just calling out the names. Now, I'm going to still be here. I'm still doing it in mirror image, so I'm not going anywhere. This isn't that kind of test, but not saying the words out loud as we go through the movements. All right, here we go. And commence. Open and close. Single whip to our right. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. So for me, something really happens that's special whenever we do the movements and just call out the names of them. Because before, when I'm calling out every single thing that you should be doing, it takes away from the Tai Chi, especially the internal experience called Jing, Jing. That's that mental quietness. It takes away from that, but Tai Chi is often described as meditation in motion. So meditation lends itself to a little more quiet of an experience. So when we just call out the names, then you can kind of experience the Tai Chi in a more meditative way. So let's do that again. And again, I'll just call out the names. And this is our basic 6. Here we go. And commence. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. And close it out. So did you experience it that way? You as a more of a meditative experience?
Can't say that I did. But that's
Are you still thinking about the movements, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of learning, and that is one reason why I gave the suggestion of, I mean, this is the big old piece of paper. But even if you took a regular piece of notebook paper This right here is a small piece, obviously, compared to this. And write the names of the movements and put it in front of you. So then you don't have to think about what's next. You could even break it down in the movement. So you may have a piece of paper that's called commencement, right? And so you may write it all out. After you get that upright posture, weight on both legs, you may write out hands up facing each other, down as you shift right, step left, hands come in and up. You may draw arrows, whatever works for you. Hands go out as you shift to that left foot, right foot forward, hands come back. So you may write out what I say. You know, you can rewatch the video on YouTube, write it out just for that move. You have it there in front of you, and then you are learning it in a different way. It's a visual reminder. It's not just in your head. It's not just on the video. You know, you can watch it, you can read it, and something's going to sink in there based on your own learning style. So whatever works for you, I'm just telling you what worked for me and what continues to work for me, because I still have little notes where it says step, empty, switch, change hands, turn or wave, shift, wait. So, you know, I still keep little notes, even though I've been doing it a long time. So it's okay if you don't have it all memorized. Have your tools up there and use them. All right, let's do it one more time, then we'll cool down. And commence. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. And close it out. So you may have noticed when I did that waving hands in clouds that I combined the words. So instead of doing this where hold on. So it's step, switch, turn, shift, step, okay? So instead of breaking it up into those 4 words, you might have noticed mine was a little more fluid, and that's because I'm combining words. So it's step and switch, shift and turn, step and switch, shift and turn, step and switch. And that helps me follow that principle of smooth and continuous. And so practice is what gets you there. So that doesn't happen overnight, but that is our goal, is to make it more slow, smooth, and continuous. And we do that by combining the 2 words. Oh, goodness. All right, so let's cool down by giving ourselves a little fist massage. You can bring your knee up or you can go down to your knee, wherever you're most comfortable. Doing all this weight shifting really does make our muscles sore, so that helps kind of give it a good massage. Wherever you may feel sore, you may do a little fist massage. Then next, we gather tension to remind ourselves that's not where we want to live, so we let it go. Tense and relax. Tense and relax. Tense and relax. Tense and relax. Shoulder circles up and down. Same ones we do in the beginning. Inhale up, exhale down. And then to end our class, we take our right fist, and that represents our strength. Our left fingers together represents our friendship. Our thumb in is our humility. We put those together, and in mutual respect, we say namaste.
Namaste.
So we'll do it again next week. Is there anything that y'all want me to bring to y'all next week? Anything that you want me to focus on? Remember that I'm here for you. So it's not just how I make the class, it's how y'all need it to be.
We just need more practice, and I think I've got to do more practice. I just seem to have a problem finding the time.
Oh, girl, I totally understand. But, please know that I understand, yes. But, practice sometimes can be laying down in bed at night and just thinking about the movements. It doesn't have to be time where you're up and doing them. You can practice by just thinking about them. And that's how I learned when I first started, is just laying in bed at night, doing that deep breathing and thinking about what commencement looked like. Even though I was just laying there not doing anything, I was learning in that way too. You can turn on the YouTube video and just watch it. You don't have to do anything. That is learning. So don't always feel like you have to be physically doing it to practice. But of course, remember your why of why you do Tai Chi, and know that in order to get those benefits, then you do want to do it.
Right.
Well, in between now and next Tuesday, y'all let me know if I can do anything for you. And if not, then I'll see you next week.
Sounds good. You have a good rest of the week. Love you too.
Thank you, Miss Linda. All right. Love y'all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.